let's get to the meat of what we want to talk about. A couple things. And you and I have been talking about the Obama administration and its response to Israel. Netanyahu was recently in Washington, D.C., and I heard his address to Congress. I was deeply impressed with the man. The way
he's extremely articulated and very bright man. The thing is that the guy was in the middle of it from childhood. He was in the army. He almost died. He lost his brother. So he knows the situation inside out. So when somebody comes and tells him that any negotiation will have to start from the 67 borders, it's a non-starter, because it's impossible to defend Israel from those points. It's impossible.
His comments about Gaza was extremely interesting. He said, look what we did in Gaza. He said, we pulled our settlements out. But we did that. We did that under Sharon. And look what happened. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands. I can't remember the figure he gave. Rockets came blasting into Israel, and I was into the city where they came into. Mm-hmm. And so
it's been the same story, and we covered this before. This issue about giving land for peace never really worked. Because the issue is so much deeper than that. You know, that it's the mistrust and trying to get to a point where we can, the two sides can sit down and negotiate something tangible, something real, something that can be built on, is not there. It's not there.
Netanyahu said it so well. He said, if we're going to have a peace agreement, it's not so much about us. It's two ways. And I want to say this right. It's not so much about us saying, okay, we recognize Palestine as a state. He says we have to have the other side recognizing Israel as a state. And as long as they have Hamas in the picture and Hezbollah, that's not going to happen. We cannot negotiate with terrorists. I mean, it's that simple, isn't it?
Absolutely, and that was the issue, the bone of contention from the beginning. It's not Israel not recognizing Palestine; it's the Palestinians not recognizing the right of Israel to exist. And if you have that on the table, it will never going to happen.
It's the hatred for the Jewish people, and that's worldwide. That's the attack on 9/11. Was the financial district of New York, and the concept is they were out to punish the Jewish nation, the Jewish people that are living. I mean, there's more Jews that live in New York than there are that live in Israel.
Oh, absolutely.
So the hatred for the Jewish people is something that has to be dealt with amongst and I don't know how you do that within the real radical element. The concept also, I just received an email the other day, and it's from I forget exactly the group, but they were talking about signing a petition to keep Jerusalem, not divide Jerusalem. That would be the worst thing you could ever have, like a two-state type of thing, and Jerusalem be divided as part of the peace process. So, you know, you would have part of Jerusalem would be, I guess, the Arab community, and part would be the Israeli. But that idea of dividing Jerusalem has never worked in history.
No, absolutely not. Every time that Jerusalem, and for hundreds of years, Jerusalem was under Muslim control. And nobody could go there. I mean, not the Christians, not the Jews. And the only time in history that all the faiths had the right to go to Jerusalem unhindered, uncontrolled, or anything like this was since Israel was controlled. Jerusalem was controlled by Israel, and so you could worship at any place freely, without hindrance, without any problem. Jews have been trying to go to Jerusalem to worship for generations and could not do it. It's so important to so many people all over the world, and to put that liberty in jeopardy, just even for a week, will be disastrous. Will be horrendous.
I don't understand it. I don't get, for the life of me, when I heard Netanyahu speaking, and I know, hey, Israel's made some bad decisions. What country, what democracy has not? But the rap on Israel, when you hear people that are so passionate about, say, Palestine, and I want I have no bone to pick with the Palestinian people. I want everyone to be able to experience freedom and to experience life and to bring up their kids and have all of that you and I and people in the West, we take for granted, quite honestly. I want that for everyone. But when you have certain systems in place in the world that hinder your ability to, say, me as a Christian, you as a Jew, to do the simple things in life, like attend a synagogue or attend a church, without persecution, without feeling like your family could be in jeopardy, all of that kind of thing, or to disagree with the government. I mean, I disagree with a lot of what Canada's doing, especially when I look at my taxes. And I say, we got to do something about this. And we have an election. We try to do something about that.
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't like it, you have a chance to do something about it without really fearing that somebody in the middle of the night is going to knock on your door and you're going to disappear forever.
Yeah, and the idea that a country like Israel should be, in a sense, punished for being able to, in the media, for having the defenses that they have. I mean, what country would not defend themselves?
Israel has no choice, absolutely no choice. They can mistake, even a small one, it could be fatal. I mean, Canada can make mistakes. The Americans can make mistakes. It's not going to kill them. If Israel make a mistake by a bad negotiation or dealing with the wrong person across the table, it could cost them their entire entity for forever.
Yeah. And all someone needs to do is take a look at what Israel has produced in the area of scientific discoveries, medical discoveries, technology, and say, what person in the world would like to take that brain trust, those abilities? They're right on the verge of curing things like Parkinson's, coming up with, I study this a lot, and what they're coming up with, what they've been able to do, the MRI, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And this is given to the world. This information, everything is out there. It's given to the world. Amazing discoveries. And to think that someday that would not be available to us, that brain trust, that type of thing. If somebody said, well, they'd all move back to New York or whatever, that's not even the point. The point is that country breeds that. There's something about that country that breeds that kind of creativity. And for the size of the country, it's absolutely phenomenal. And I can't even imagine not having that available to us. It would be a disaster beyond the disasters. Well, it'd be the end of the world, as we know it.
Oh, no, absolutely. It's going to be the end of the West. Yeah. And the American knows it, and every free spirit and every free person in the world knows it, that if something happens to Israel, something really, really bad happens to Israel, forget the West as we know it. Forget it. So we have to be very vigilant and very, very, very cautious about any step we take regarding Israel. This is paramount. It's extremely, extremely important.
Very good, Jacob. I love talking to you, and we'll continue on with our conversations more and more. And if anybody has any questions, thoughts, ideas that they want to put out, they can come to the website. Yeah, you disagree with. Hey, that we're in a free country. Disagree,
absolutely.
And we'll be more than happy to take those things and and discuss them.
we don't have all the answers. You know, we are thirsty and hungry for ideas and answers.
Yeah. So, hey, listen, jump in on the discussion. If you're pro-Palestinian and you now, here's the only thing: we do try to keep it civil, and we don't allow racist comments and things like that on our site. But if you have genuine questions, things that are really bothering you, and say this is what I don't understand, hey, let's bring it to the table, and we'll get it out there, and we'll talk about it. So, right below is a comment section. You can put your comment up there. If you'd like to talk to me or Jacob, we'll put a Skype thing together. But, that's what it's all about. We're trying to communicate here. And I think that's the key, really, to building bridges is communication. And the ability to hear what people have to say and then discuss it rationally. Rationally be the key word here. So, anyway, Jacob, thank you so much. And your website, again, because I really want people to see what you do. You are one of the premier artists in the world that we have today, and you are doing some wonderful work. So it's BenarochArt.com. And Benaroch is spelled B-E-N-R-O-A-C-H.
No, B-E-N-A-R-O-C-H.
I knew. Okay, I knew it was okay. B-E-N-A-R-O-C-H. Art.com. And I'll put that up on the site also. Good, Jacob. Thank you so much. And you're losing weight or something. You're looking good.
Hi. Well, that's good.
And we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.